Brought to you by Dehancer. Use the promo code RABBIT to receive 10% off Dehancer products. Dehancer.com.
Another film, I actually really like this one. Unfortunately I saw it on Netflix. I didn't get a chance to go to the theater to see it, but it's Frankenstein, directed by Guillermo Del Toro. It's a story of Frankenstein, and it's a movie that he's been wanting to make since he was in utero, I think. Very impressive performances. Jacob Elordi is nominated. I like the movie. I liked a lot of the visual elements of it. Like, I love the design of it. I love the costumes. I thought the creature design was tremendous. I thought everything was very strong in it. The acting, the VFX, Guillermo del Toro's old school, so he likes to use things like miniatures, and I think that stuff all looks really great. Some of, like, the VFX, like there's some VFX, like CGI wolves that looked a little wonky, but that's about it. Everything on the ship looked great. Everything in the ice and all that stuff looked great. And it felt like it was the most Guillermo del Toro movie ever made. And it's the movie that he's been making his whole career, basically. And I thought, well, this is great. And I kept counting the story beats. How's he going to do this part of the story? How's he going to do that part of the story? How's he going to cover this? And there were things that he did that I haven't seen before, because there were certain elements of the story that he blew up, like the brother character, for instance. The last time you see him in the novel, I think he's like 10, and then you never see him again. But in this, he plays a major part. Mia Goth's character was a bigger part. I felt like it was very, to me, akin to the Kenneth Branagh Frankenstein with Robert De Niro, which I think everybody kind of forgot about. That is a big melodrama, like over the top, like there's over the top, and then whatever the hell that movie is. And then this, I just thought, like, wow, this looks amazing. And it's Guillermo del Toro at the top of his game. I actually don't know what he's going to do next, because I feel like he kind of summited the mountain. But my only problem was because I was in awe of the movie and counting the story beats, I never got involved with the characters. And, that kind of took me out of it a little bit. And it's like, it's a movie, it doesn't deserve that kind of commentary, probably. Probably other people did get involved with the characters, but it just didn't strike me on that level. What did you think of it?
I did really enjoy it. I get worried about anything that it goes to or is co-owned by Netflix at this point, because, they're trying to buy Warner Brothers. They've already kind of announced that if they get it, they're going to have a very limited theatrical window for every WB film that comes out before it goes to Netflix. And what was it? Matt Damon was on Joe Rogan's podcast last week, basically saying, it's like, yeah, they put it in their contracts that you have to front load the action scenes, and you have to reiterate the plot verbally in the dialogue like 3 to 4 times, because there's people on their phones not paying attention. Which, if you're making it solely for Netflix, I get. But if you're in a theater, if you're the ones going to the theater to watch this in what will now be eventually a glorified Academy eligibility run, it's going to just grate on you to hear the same points reiterated several times. But so that's my concern about the Netflix corporate model, not this movie specifically. As far as the movie, my only kind of like eyebrow raising complaints were things like, Mia Goth's character. Yeah, like I love her to death. She's a great actress, but they gave Elizabeth far too big of a role in this compared to the book, and it wasn't one that she was prepared to play. I think they just basically said, well, her name's Goth, let's put her in this gothic horror. And some of the costuming was very silly. Like they give her these like weird feather things around her head that makes her look like a discount Amidala. And then of course Jacob Elordi's like he gives a great performance. The fact that he's nominated for supporting actor, and I think he even won the Golden Globe. Like that's some outside the box thinking, as far as awards voters are generally meant to be. But at the same time, after The Shape of Water, did we have to focus on how hot he is all the time? Like I don't care about bangable monsters, it's like, but There's a whole section of anime if you're into that sort of thing. But putting that aside, and Oscar Isaac, I love him, but he went way over the top and was like very hammy, very scenery chewing, and there's so much good scenery. Don't eat it. The production design is on point. That was also nominated. I love the animatronics of like that first model in his little kangaroo court defense. Well, like that was just so cool. Like that to me is pure distilled Del Toro. Like that kind of just creatively grotesque thing. I absolutely love that. Um, there are some weird tonal issues as far as like, oh, the creature can lift a boat somehow. I was like, he is still just a man. I was like that. Yes, he's stronger than the average man, but not lift a 20-ton boat strong. But what really did strike me is that similar to the Branagh film, there was an emphasis on the humanity of the creature. Um, and the classic Frankenstein Universal horror movie with the fire bad, like that was a movie studio creating a movie monster that just happened to have Frankenstein framing around it. The big legacy flaw in it is that it deviates so far from the source material that you only get a couple of hints of the sophistication and the overall gentleness of the character. This film nails it. Like the sequence where he's living in the barn and talking to David Bradley as the blind man, like that was, I think, one of if not the best depictions of the character of the creature ever put to film. Like that was amazing. And David Bradley, of course, he's a tremendous character actor. Most people know him as Walder Frey from Game of Thrones, or as Filch in the Harry Potter movies. But he's done so much more work over the course of his life. So this was a really good showcase for him to show the world just how talented he really is. And he and Elordi play off each other so well. It really delivers the pathos of that moment. Like that's the core of Gothic horror as an emotional art form. Like I was like, just, I mean, I'm watching it on Netflix, but I'm just leaning forward every single second, like, oh my, put more of it in my eyeballs, please. This is beautiful. So yeah, it's not. I probably personally wouldn't have nominated it for Best Picture, but I definitely understand why it was, and I think it's certainly worthy of consideration, especially in the artistic categories. And yeah, Jacob Elordi getting uh, a supporting actor nomination where he honestly has a chance of winning. It's like that's some really strong stuff here. Um, is it Del Toro's best work? Yeah, maybe. I still hold a candle for Pan's Labyrinth, but I can't. I really can't argue against anybody saying like this, like you said, that like this is Del Toro at his most Del Toro. Like this is the refined version of him that fires on every cylinder. I can't argue against that. I don't necessarily see it every time, but I get where anybody would.
This is the BTRP Media Network.